Oh, I don't think it falls on fans. But I just think that there's a more productive discussion to be had than make the game better. Because, like, here's the thing. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet gave us a lot of the things we asked for. It gave us an open world, it gave us persistent Pokemon on the map, it streamlined getting into competitive, it allowed you to rearrange your moves whenever you want, it gave you reliable ways to level without screwing up your Pokemon's EVs, it made map traversal interesting. Like, these are the things that people asked for after Sword and Shield, and secondarily asked for after Arceus. And they did it. And it has a pretty good gameplay loop, but it runs like dog water. So Game Freak had this design, and it was a mistake. It's making people angry. So I've been trying to tell people is that there's not just a make game better button. Like, people seem to believe that the only problem is that each and every person that works at Game Freak is individually lazy, and that's why the game sucks. And that's crazy. More than likely, they began this project, and somewhere down the line, they realized that it wasn't going to look good on the Switch's hardware, and then they had a choice between either starting from scratch or trying to make it work as best they could. And they tried to make it work as best they could. A lot of people are like, oh, well, you knew the Switch's hardware, so you should have known. It's hard to know. Like, I've worked in coding before. You don't really know how shit's gonna work until you run and test that code. And when you're making a big open world projects, you're gonna have a lot of different departments doing a lot of different things, and you're not gonna be able to run that code and test it until they all come together. So the project was too big, and I think we all agree on that. But what I'm trying to get people to think about is how you would meaningfully change the game to get the increase in performance you want. Because there isn't just a make game better button. You can't just throw money or even time at projects like this. Sometimes the feature set just does not work with the hardware. People keep bringing up other games like Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey or Xenoblade Chronicles 3, but those are different games with very different feature sets. There are nowhere near as many unique models in Xenoblade Chronicles 3 as there are in Pokemon. There's nowhere near as many objects rendered on screen at the same time, and that means that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was a better designed game. But it's not like you could just press the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 button and get Pokemon Scarlet and Violet with all the features it currently has and none of the bugs. You have to redesign Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And so I want the fan base to think about what that redesign might look like. Because otherwise, we're gonna get a new Pokemon release, and it's gonna run smoothly at 60 frames per second, but it's gonna be missing a whole bunch of features from Scarlet and Violet. And people are gonna call it trash because there's no features in it. And then we're back to square one.